Arne Slot has been backed by the owners, I've just read. I believe only one can stay at Liverpool. I don't think Salah will be here much longer. Welcome back to the George Scafe channel. Please do subscribe. It's going to be a long stream, this. I really want to get deep into the topic and the discussion because there is so much to go through. In fact, this is probably the last time probably won't be, but the last time certainly I want to be speaking about this because there is no. We can go around in circles. We can talk amongst ourselves as a fan base in the pubs, in the comment sections, which I hope you're doing as well. But we drive ourselves nuts. We will drive ourselves insane. This discourse has to stop. And I think that tonight for me stops. Know what I mean? Listen. Hold on, let me just say that there. I don't even know where you start. And that's the problem with this, right? There's always like a good entry point. Do you start with the manager or the players? And it's quite obvious normally. There is not an obvious place to start here because it is so complex. I think if anyone is saying, listen, I'm 100% backing Salah, I'm 100% behind him, I think you're lying. Even the biggest, most Salah lover of all time, even Salah himself, no Salah, but you know what I mean? Even if you were behind Salah, which I am, you can't be there 100%. You just can't be. Because some of the things Salah has said for me, oh, my phone's falling, sorry. Some of the things Salah said for me have been unacceptable, and the timing certainly, and the way he's gone about it for me is not right. And that's the wrong way to do it. Let's start with that. What do I disagree with? What are the problems here? We'll start with this, the timing, the way he's done it. He's gone public with this. First mistake, in my opinion. That is the last thing this club needs, but also the fan base needs right now. And Salah knows that more than anyone. He knows how things circulate, how discussions, how sides are taken. And in the fan base right now that is, we're on the fucking brink, half of us, right? We're struggling watching this side play football. To have this external nonsense circulating in the media does not help anyone. You're getting fans turn on each other. I've been in comment sections all day talking to people who completely disagree with what I'm saying. I've been in pubs with people completely disagreeing with what I'm saying. But it's like, not disagreeing as in, oh, I disagree with you slightly there, mate. You know what I mean? Wise up. It's like, you're back in Slot. Are you fucking thick? Are you stupid? Like, getting aggressive, it's getting toxic in the fan base. Twitter's a toxic place anyway, but it's bad. Right now it's bad. The fan base is divided. And that's all because Salah came out and did this publicly. If Salah did this quiet in a little room, closed the door, put a candle on, a little Yankee candle just to calm the tone, him and Slot, and sat down and spoke about this, which to be fair, I imagine they've done. I imagine they've spoken about this to be fair, and that's why Salah's gone public, you know what I mean? It's like he couldn't get through to him the first time, therefore he had to kind of raise the bar a bit with this and let the whole world know. You should have dealt with this privately, in my opinion. That's the first thing for me Salah did wrong. I think it looks even worse when you consider Salah not having stepped up to particularly many press conferences or interviews after a game, certainly after a loss, a big loss. Name them. Name the games where Salah has come forward and spoken on behalf of the club, on behalf of the team, talking about the loss, giving an excuse, giving a reason to the fans. Because I've seen so many times it be Randy Robertson as a senior part of the leadership group. He's the vice captain. I've seen so many times it be Dominic Szoboszlai, a player who is our best player every single week. He does not have to come out and defend the team. But yesterday I saw him first person on there. First person, we're just drawing with Leeds there 3-3. They've just come up. Obviously Salah won't play and he couldn't have done that, but you get my point. Szoboszlai is always there or thereabouts. Obviously Van Dijk as the captain's there. These are the senior players, the senior group. They should be there. Curtis Jones the other day came out on CBS. And get it right, let's be real. I don't particularly see Salah do these interviews. I think that opinion there, a lot of people have now because Carragher's said it, and he's not just said it, Carragher, he's proper doubled down on that. He went big on it, didn't he, that Salah's never turned up for interviews and he only does them when he wants something. That makes me thinking it almost sound a bit crazy, like I'm agreeing with Carragher. I'm not agreeing with Carragher to the extent that he's saying, but I do genuinely believe, forget Carragher, that Salah needs to step up more, which makes this interview look even worse in my opinion. Don't look great, does it? One of the only interviews you've done this year, and you're asking about, and you're speaking about your demands and the promises that the club gave you, and all about you, and very, very selfish in my opinion. So there's another thing I disagree with. I'm on YouTube, by the way. Please do get involved. The camera quality is miles better. I've got a new light. You can kind of see it there. Basically, I can change colours. It's mint. Please get involved. If you're on YouTube stream, hello, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to get involved in comments later on. Just please do stay tuned. We've got a new member in Lectin. Mate, thank you very much for joining the Members Club. They're the things I disagree with. Another thing. There's one more thing I disagree with Salah saying. Among a few, but one more that's worth noting. Salah said, why me? He doesn't understand why it was him. He doesn't understand why he's been dropped. In fact, there's a lot of things I disagree with, because I also disagree with him saying that he's earned his place, therefore he doesn't have to work for it. You better work. I'm not being funny. No player, absolutely zero players in the history of the sport, are immune from being dropped. If you have a bad game, a bad run of games, if you're in bad form, you don't play football. That's how it is with every player, in every team. Sorry, Salah's a club legend, a living legend, he's an all-time great. Last season, he arguably won the league on his own. But this season, he's not been up to scratch. Certainly not to the level of last season. There was every reason for Arne Slot to bench him against West Ham. None of the fan base were going, oh, what? Salah's benched? Are you joking? People were like, even if you didn't agree with it, you were going, I kind of get why he was benched against West Ham there. Listen, do I think he should have been benched the 2 games after that against Leeds and Sunderland? No. I think that is too far. I would have benched Salah for 1 game as a kick up the arse, as a reminder. His position is not secure. But Arne Slot went 2 further and did it 3 in a row. That don't happen in my opinion. That is too far, especially when Gakpo's playing that bad. It's like, what's Salah going to do to get a game there over Cody Gakpo? Do you get my point though? Salah saying, why me? What have I done? Well, you've not played very well. That's why you were dropped in the first place. And then, in fairness, we won that game against West Ham. 2-0, I mean, they were terrible, let's be real, but even though, for me, that win wasn't actually correlated to dropping Salah, if we'd have played Salah against West Ham, we might have well won again. Won the same, you know what I mean? Might have been 3-0 for all we know, I don't know. We don't know that, we're just ifs and buts here. But the facts are this, Salah didn't play, won the game. So I actually don't blame Arne Slot for dropping him again against Leeds. At Sunderland, I don't particularly blame him. But then that didn't go very well, did it? We were crap. We were awful against Sunderland. I would have brought him back in, I think. Listen, I think I had Chiesa on my team based on Chiesa being amazing, but if Salah played against Leeds, I'd have gone, fine. We've not played particularly well there 2 in a row. He's got every right to be annoyed. I've titled this video Salah gone ? Because I think that's the route we're going down here. I don't see this enhancing Salah's profile to the club. And do you know why? There was one thing Salah said. Please do leave a like, by the way, if you're enjoying. If you like the new setup as well. These will be regular streams. Please get involved. I'm really humbled by the support. Thank you so much. Just go and smash a like down below. Get into YouTube, by the way. We're live. Better camera than that. It's crap. One thing Salah said, which has stuck with me, it's the club are trying to throw me under the bus. Not the manager. It was specific in what he said there, in the club. That's bigger than the manager. The whole point of, for me, Salah doing this. What's the point in Salah doing this? Frustration? Yeah. Surely an element of like, it's either kind of me or him here. I'm trying to throw this guy overboard, in a way, and he's done it publicly for that reason, in my opinion. But this has arguably gone the other way. Because Salah said the club are throwing me under. Well, the club implying the highs up in the club, and they're the ones who make the choices here. And it's like, someone said on Twitter, and I thought they were right, this arguably looks better on Slot, in the eyes of the club, right? You know, I think it all depends on how he reacts. I think there's a press conference tomorrow at 6:30. He needs to react. Like, someone needs to react. Someone needs to say something, do you know what I mean? It's almost like, it feels like we're waiting for an apology. We're waiting for a part 2. We've seen the first film. We're waiting for that, you know what I mean? That Empire Strikes Back. Where is it? That Chamber of Secrets. I'm not going to sit here and name second films of franchises. Home Alone 2. Festive. That's on brand, on topic. Do you get my point? Something will follow this. And ultimately the end goal for us fans here is we resolve this. The best case scenario is this. Arne Slot wins every game from here on in, wins the quadruple, and Salah is a big part of that. That's the best case scenario here. First one won't happen. Second one, it looking like it's happening. But you get my point. Hopefully this resolves. But I don't think it'll be a shake hands and make up. And if it is going to be that, it'll be a public one at that. Do you think these interviewers and these people who get the media pass, do you think they're going to let this go? My God. I'm telling you now, the questions in the press conference pre-match for Inter Milan will not be, so Anna, What do you reckon about your midfield this year? It's going to be, what are your thoughts on Mo Salah's comments? Tell me now in 3 seconds, otherwise, you know what I mean? It's going to be serious. It's going to be laid on thick. And yeah, that will probe answers, I think. That will probe, not mistakes, but I don't think Arne Slot's the kind of guy to make them. I do, listen, I like Arne Slot's demeanour, his character at times, but I think at other times it looks terrible. I said this in a vid before, it's like, Arne Slot is so calm, he's really chilled out, and when you go and win the league, and you kind of, let's be real, piss up in the league, and kind of coast over the line, I mean, to be fair, no, I take that back, we fell over the line, but we coasted through a large part of last season to allow us to then fall over the line, right? For Arne Slot to be like really calm, chilled out in interviews, like, it's like talking to a pal, to be honest with you. It's fine when you're winning games and winning titles, but when you're not winning, when you're getting beat every week, when you're letting 24 Premier League goals, that's bad. When you got the form we have, and Arne Slot stood on the sidelines just like not doing anything. He's still chilled, he's still got that calm demeanour. It's like, okay, you're changing nothing, that's fine. At least act like, give us some sort of hope, act like you kind of want a beer, I almost feel like saying there. It's true though, isn't it? That same demeanour is absolutely impacted by the results. He's not going to change the way he is he? But that's a shame. It's interesting when you look back at last season and you're like, Salah's got no relationship with, he said himself, he's got no relationship with manager. Well, last season they seemed to have a bit of a relationship. So what's happened? What's gone wrong? Is it the summer? Is it all these transfers? Is it bringing in two attackers who have arguably got more of a say on the starting 11 now because they're both younger, they're both maybe more exciting, maybe higher potential, higher ceiling. I don't know what you want to say, but you get my point. We spend £250 million on two players who play in there or thereabouts Salah's role in the attack. Maybe you're going to be, maybe your arse is going to go in that regard. I get that. Maybe he didn't want Diaz to go. I mean, I don't know. We're literally guessing here. We are guessing what's going wrong. What has gone wrong? Because Salah's not become crap overnight. It's like, let's have it right. Maybe, he's become a bit leggy. Maybe, he's not hitting the 10 out of 10 games in terms of fitness and in terms of, I don't know. He looks slower, doesn't he? Let's simple as. He doesn't look as sharp. In the press, I think he looks less effective. And we've got to guess as fans here why that is. Is it just him getting older? Maybe, but is that a massive factor? Even if it is, you're going to put, 5-10% impact on that? So I'm thinking it's something else. Is it the lack of Luis Diaz? I think that's a very valid concern there, or reason as to this Salah downfall. On the other side, Diaz offering a real threat. But not just that, kind of on the ball, off the ball as well. He's a miles better presser of the ball or the opposition than Gakpo is. And I mean, listen, this might sound daft. I'm not saying we shouldn't have sold Darwin Núñez. Like, probably the exact opposite. I thought it was really poor, I've got to say. But one thing you could rely on Núñez giving you was a bit off the ball, right? He was a dog. He ran. You could never. I mean, you could criticise Núñez for a lot. Oh my god, a lot. But one thing you could never slate him for was running, was work rate. And we've seen this year, Isak came in, not saying he doesn't run, but he's not been fully fit. He's been kind of taking the first few games as pre-season himself to get up to fitness, so that press is going to struggle there. Ekitike came in, who, again, I'm not criticising him for not running. In fact, the opposite. I love his work rate. I really admire that enthusiasm, that will to win that Ekitike has. And he got a goal against Leeds from that. A little mistake, and he capitalised. It's like he deserves that. He's earned his own, he's made his own look there, you know what I mean? But even Ekitike as a new player coming to a new team, into a new league, your pressing patterns are going to be all off, with Wirtz as well. 6 new players in the starting 11, or 5 certainly, or 4 certainly. I get why it ain't working. He's not had a constant right back behind him. Right? We've gone through Bradley and Frimpong and Szoboszlai at times there. Now Gomez has played. We've 4 different right backs this year. So I get why these performances are happening from Salah. I do, and I feel like an idiot for not seeing it, to be honest. He's no longer the main man now. I mean, you've got to say, well, as fans, I'm looking at Szoboszlai thinking, you're the main guy right now. You're doing it every week. You're turning up every week. You're turning up to the media every week. You're recognising it's not good enough in the media, which is great. Obviously, the performances aren't great, but recognising it is great. No one else is saying that, really. Curtis Jones having it right the other day. Coming out, showing some ownership. Admitting it isn't good. I didn't see Salah doing that, and I think that's very fair to criticise him for. But again, This whole thing, I mean, I've been speaking there for 15 minutes, right? Slagging Salah, maybe not slagging him off, but saying what I disagree with regarding Salah in this interview. Yeah, I still agree with him. Like, I'm still behind him here. I'm still backing this guy. There are not many instances in football where you would back the player over the manager in any sort of dispute or debate or whatever. But this is one of them. I think this shows how good Salah is, how much he's done for the club. Like, in that draw there, I've got 2 shirts with his name up back. I find it very hard to go against my player here. And this manager, I mean, if Arne Slot were doing something and acting like he would at least pretend like you want to be, put a mask on or something. If he were doing something to win me over, it'd be a tough, maybe more tough decision. Who am I backing? Which corner am I fighting in? But now it's so obvious. I'm going to side with the guy who's been here 8-9 years. I'm going to side with the guy who's won the Premier League twice in the Champions League, Golden Boots and Player of the Season. That's who I'm going to side with because I value. I mean, legacy is the wrong word, but I value credibility. And my whole thing with Arne Slot, the reason I'm not Arne Slot out yet, I mean, I've got one or two games to be honest with you, but my whole reasoning was he's earned that credibility from last season, from winning the league first time of asking. It's only fair we discuss this debate, Salah or Slot, with the same reasoning, credibility, and Salah's got it in abundance. He won the league arguably. I'd love to get a measure on this. In the comments now, how can I do this? Just write Salah or Slot. Wait for the question. Who had more of a say on us? Think about it. Who had more of a say on Liverpool winning the league last year? Right, Salah or Slot? Just one word. I want to gauge where we are here. I think the answer is probably Arne Slot, given he's the manager and he won it first time of asking. But you could make an amazing argument for Salah having more of a say on last season. You know what I mean? How often do you see that? Yeah, you see players having a massive impact on teams more so than the team combined. Maybe lower down in the league. I don't know, last season with Cunha at Wolves or... that's the only example that comes to mind. You know what I mean? A player further down who's clearly better than the team. Salah shouldn't have really been doing that last year. Was he much better than the rest of our team? Maybe, yeah, but not to the extent like a Cunha at Wolves or, you know, you look at players like Gravenberch or McAllister, or they were all great last year, but people are saying Salah arguably won it last year. That's credibility. You can make a great argument for him having more of a say on winning that title. Plus, chuck on the previous 7 or 8 years, you know what I mean? I saw an interesting comment about what platform you're on. And it's like people on TikTok were saying, what was it? People on Twitter wanting Slot gone. People on Instagram are saying Salah's being too harsh, being too unprofessional. People on TikTok are saying, like, what the hell? I find it very hard to give you a 100% answer either or because there's not one. I think if people are saying they're 100% Salah, I think you're lacking critical thinking. It's impossible. It is impossible. Because the timing of what he said firstly were wrong. The way he said it was wrong. So there's your 100% gone down to at least a 70. Some of the things he said were wrong. I'm about I don't even know what percent I am. All I know is I'm backing the guy and not the manager personally. And again, if Arne Slot had done a bit more to win us over here, it would be a different story. But right now, it's tapping. Really enjoying the stream. I'd love. That's been in me all day. That just get off my chest, George. Well done. Please do get involved in live stream on the YouTube. We're live now. There's actually more people on YouTube than TikTok, so please get involved. The camera's miles better on here, so just join. Get involved in the comments as well. And I'm going to bring some of the comments on screen, so please do get involved. I tend to have a 15-minute rant, and then we get into comments, so please do let me know your thoughts. Let me ask you a question. What can I ask you here? Who's got a better haircut? Salah or Slot? No. What about... I mean, we could just start really broad and really simple. Whose side are you on? Salah Slot? Put Salah Slot. Say one. I know where this is going to go. Someone just said, I back Slot. I'm just going to read this out now. Right, please. Wow. We've had a 20. Is that dollar or euro? We've had a 20. What the hell, mate? David LFC 96. I've seen you in my chat before, mate. I really appreciate it. Right, I'm leaving that stream there. Please do get involved on YouTube. We're live now. George Scaife LFC. I'll see you in there. Don't be long. Hurry up. Don't take long. Bye. Listen, new account kind of thing. We're trying to grow and you get it. Soon we'll just be on YouTube and it'll be great. Mate, David LFC, can we get a W, David, please? What the hell have I just seen? And I'll get onto the Salah slot and debate in a second. 24 goals conceded is horrific. I love this club, but my God, we are a tough watch this season. I entirely agree. And is it me? Or has Van Dijk been put? Mate, I said this in my video the other day. I was like, you need to stop complaining and blaming other people, in my opinion. We'll do a full video on Van Dijk. It's an interesting one, actually. I can't say slot out, but how can we go from title winners? Yeah, mate. Firstly, thank you for your donation. That is very generous, and it all goes back into the stream, making it more watchable and better. I agree with everything you said there. Every single thing you've said. The standards have been dropped beyond belief. I've not seen the standards been dropped like this in my lifetime. I can't think of an example. I mean, things like Leicester, right? Leicester lost all the best players. Let's have it right. We've, if anything, gone the opposite way and improved, right? You'd like to think we've improved on paper, on the face of it, and we've gotten worse. So, mate, David, thank you very much for that. Listen, I want to go back to that Salah slot debate. A lot of Salahs in here. Oh, mate, who's that plonker, mate? Absolute plonker. I can't believe this many people are slot in. Not slot in, slot over Salah. I find that mad. I said this before. In most occasions, I can entirely get why you'd be manager of a player. But this is surely one of the occasions where it can't be that. No? Yeah, I get the timing was wrong. Yeah, I get he was probably incorrect in a lot of things he said. But who would you rather lose? Think of it like that. Who would you rather lose? One of them has to go tomorrow. Is that not a non-contest? I don't know. He's had a poor season, but my God, does he deserve to go? No, of course not. Honestly, like he does. I think before all this went on, was anyone saying Salah should be sold? Like proper, I hate saying proper fans, because what is that? But you know what I mean? People who actually talk sense. Was anyone saying Salah should be sold? Maybe dropped, yeah, but sold. People were saying Arne Slot should be, well, not sold, he's a manager, but gone. But now, so there you go. Now this is all kicked off, and now some people are going the other way, and they're back in Slot now, all of a sudden. I don't know. What the hell? I'd rather lose Slot, but in terms of Salah's actions, I find them unacceptable. I agree with that. And I think that's fine, I think Isak, we'll look at Isak, different circumstance, of course, but I almost agree with what he was doing, but not how he did it. I think that's fine. I think that can be a thing. And I think that is a thing with Salah now. I agree with a lot of things he said, but I entirely disagree with how he said them and how he dealt with this. It looks unprofessional. Is it uncharacteristic of Salah? And that's a good question. Are you surprised Salah has done this? Answer that. Is this in his character, in his nature, to do something like this? That's an interesting one. I've not heard that question posed much, so let me know your thoughts on that one. I'll bring some comments up. Just gonna have a little sip of my tropical, nicer stuff, actually, from Lidl. New Lidl opened near me. Which is quite good. Is it in his nature? Is it in his character? In a realistic situation, I think Salah will be sold in Jan. And then a few months later, they'll also sack Slot. I mean, yeah, God. The thing is, I think they'll bring interim in and they won't appoint someone. There's no one there. FSG back their manager, Slot, then we walk on. They have backed him. I've seen that come out today. He always does this. Does he always do this? I mean, I see what you're saying. Not surprising at all. We've asked a question there about, is it in Salah's character to do this? Would you rather keep Slot for the rest of the season or take Salah on... Oh, Stevie, I wouldn't take Gerrard. I mean, I'll do a separate video on that. I think it's nonsense. Got no resume. Yeah, he might get the players up for it, but at the same time, he's got no resume. I'd love him to have one, to be fair. I back Slot, but if he said to me next season Luis Enrique's coming in, oh yeah, mate, of course I'll be okay with it. I think even Slot will be okay with that. No, but you know what I mean? Yeah, Luis Enrique every day. Every day. Where am I? Sorry, I've had loads of comments. Guys, there's 300 people in here. I really am grateful. Thank you so much. Please do leave a like if you're enjoying in any way. Just a big thumbs up button down there. It really does help out. It's entirely free. Once Slot goes to AFCON... Slot is not off to AFCON. Once Salah goes to AFCON, if Arne doesn't turn it round, Salah out. Salah out. All right, interesting. Why would we sell Salah? He's turning 34 and his legs have already gone. Should sell. We should. What does that mean? Siphon. Oh, that's a great word. Siphon whatever cash we can. I never knew that's how you spell siphon. Interesting, mate. I've learned something new today. I don't agree with anything he said. He said the club's throwing him under the bus. He gets 400 grand a week. Yeah, it's in his nature. I would say it is in his nature, yeah. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button. Shit. It's alright. Yeah, I would say it is, but maybe not to the extent some people are here. Can we just play some decent footy? Me and you both thinking that. I'm baffled, actually, that he said what he has... Move it closer. I'm baffled, actually, that he said what he did. Seems like it's been on his chest a while. I think that's true, and I think the trigger point was obviously being benched 3 in a row. The frustrations come out there. Salah is being an attention seeker. He'll stay at Liverpool and everyone will forget this. Well, I mean, listen, I hate to say this, but it's not the first time Salah's been in the highlights for the wrong reasons, I'd say. I mean, look at the contract negotiation, right? That was obviously not blaming Salah. That's not what I mean, but just in terms of being at the focal point of just wildfire being spread. That is what this is. But you're judging it based on the idea that if Slot goes, that Salah will just be amazing. That's a good point. Does Arne Slot leaving mean that Salah will just be like good? No, of course not. And people do assume that's a thing. It's like if one goes, the other will be great. If Salah goes, then Arne Slot will just suddenly find foot. They're not related, are they? I don't mean them two related as humans. I meant the situation. You know what I mean? Slot can't handle big names. Well, I don't know. Won the league last year with a few in the squad, to be honest with you. Intergame could end up being the darkest day in modern history. Yeah. I mean, do you think he'll be in the squad? Should we put that as a question there? Just do a yes or no. Do you think he'll be in Inter squad? Or the squad to play Inter? I don't think so. I mean, if he is, I'll be stunned. Absolutely stunned. Brighton's a different story. But that Inter game, I'll be shocked. Slot should probably go, and after this, I feel like Mo should also leave. I think a situation that no one's really spoken about, one, because it's a terrible situation to occur, really, it probably is, both of them to go. If both of them leave in January, is that the best situation, or is that the worst? Or is it a bit of both? It's probably a bit of both, really, isn't it? How do people go extreme on opinions? Like, it's probably not the worst, is it? If they both left, realistically then, you've probably got to bring a right winger in January. Would that be an upgrade? Probably, given form. I mean, you'd do well to find someone playing worse than Salah. I mean, that's harsh. You get my point. But if Slot went, like, you're probably not finding a replacement fully. You're probably going interim. And then that's basically the season being a write-off, you've got to say. I mean, a chance at Champions League, I don't know, but the Premier League's certainly been written off already. Forget January, already. Maybe there's like some sort of domino effect, you know, where one leaves and then the other one leaves, or one leaves, the other one stays. If they both stayed, I mean, that is one that no one's talking about. Them both staying. We've had another super chat. We've had 2 super chats, guys. Thank you so much, mate. Lectin sent a £2 from before. Love content on both channels. Great to be a member, mate. Thank you so much for your constant support. You've been a long-term support channel, by the way. Thank you so much. I've got a darts channel called DartDays, if you're interested, and I've got a music channel called, where's the music stuff? George Scaife Music. So please go and check them out as well. Noah, one of the long-term supporters on the channel. Salah and Slot both have to go for me. Interesting. But Salah has only strengthened Slot's position. I agree with that. I think, can't believe Salah won't play for us again, sad ending. It is a very sad ending, tarnished it a bit, you know what I mean? Perhaps. The thing Salah said for me that, as you said there, has strengthened Slot's position, Salah said the club have thrown me under. I think that's like, fucking hell, what are you doing? Wow. That's higher up, that. You're targeting higher up. Forget Arne Slot, you're going to the big boss. You know what I mean? The club, fucking hell. 400 grand a week. Mate, thank you so much for your donation, mate. Thank you. Harry, Slot needs to Slot needs to go. Says Harry, thank you for the £2. The final man, mate, thank you for your £4.99. People are just so generous, mate. This is all going back into the stream. into cameras. A new camera I'm trying to save up for. It's like £1.5 grand. Just bought an house, so I can't really be spending money on cameras. But yeah, it all goes back into it. I'm a big fan of your channel, George. Here's a little favour for your hard work and consistency. Can you give a shout out to Shiv? Hello, Shiv. Hey, Shiv. Funny, that's a great name. What a name. Shiver me. Yeah, there's an obvious joke there. Thank you for your £5. That all goes back into the stream. Let's go with... I didn't actually read your comments around. King Fred, one of the members, is in the stream, mate. Hello. LFC Foxy, one of the members in the stream. Guys, hello. I forgot to read your comments about the Inter Milan squad. I assume most people said he wouldn't be in the squad. I understand... this is from Red Skull. I understand Salah's frustration, but he needs to know his time and place to say the things that he said. Sounds like an Oasis lyric, doesn't it? I'm not defending... But he needs to know his time and place to say the things that he said. I'm not defending... Doesn't really work for that bit, but you know what I mean? Sounds like a Noel Gallagher lyric. I'm not defending Slot because he's been awful this season, but something needs to change. I agree. We've had another donation. What the hell's going on? And it's from Aidan O'Keefe. Mate, thank you so much for your donation. I've seen you in the chat before. I recognise the name. Believe Slot has lost the dressing room. Was giving him a chance, but needs to go now. Hasn't the balls to make changes. Rio, Chiesa, etc. You've echoed exactly what I've been thinking and saying, to be fair, mate. Thank you for your £5. Very generous as always. You're right. You're right. It's like... I would give him the chance as well. I think a lot of people were kind of giving him, like, throwing him a bone a bit. Like, you know, take this chance, final straw, earn it, like, not earn it, use it, always be grateful for it, and, like, take the chance. This is the final chance now. You're on the last warning, almost, to keep it, like, formal. But he's not changed anything. We've all given him that chance. It's almost like he's gone, bugger your chance. I'll just carry on playing the same way. I'll just keep persisting with 4-2-3-1 same players and hope something clicks. Is that what he's hoping? Do you reckon he's hoping it'll just work? Like, let's be serious now. Genuinely, do you reckon he's thinking, this'll work, this, some point. They'll just start playing well. It'll just happen. That's the only thing I can think he's doing, because he's changing bugger all. I agree with what you're saying, Aidan. Thank you very much for that. Sean, one of the members on the stream, one of the new members, Sean Mac 2644. Brilliant signing. Not sure who you're talking about, but we've signed a lot of players. Another... what the hell's going on here? Guys, thank you so much for the support. To be fair, we're nearly affording that camera. What the hell? Thank you. Slot is tactically inept. This is from James Myers, 392, sorry. Slot is tactically inept, in my opinion. Too reactive, not proactive. Lost the dressing room, needs to go now. I agree. I actually think... You know, you say too reactive. I sometimes think he's not reactive enough, to be honest. Maybe not reactive early enough. I think his substitutions are too late in the game, and I think they're the wrong ones. I get what you're saying, though. He's not proactive. That's the bit I really do agree with. Like, he's not mitigating for these problems anymore. He's starting the same team every week and trying to change and tweak during the game. But what are the changes doing? They're not particularly improving our side. We've got Chiesa there who's gagging for minutes and he can't get a sniff. We've got Rio Engamo there, young kid who's every time he comes on is one of our best players. Takes on more players than anyone else. Completes more dribbles, more inches into the box. Can't get a game. You've got Isak and Ekatike. Excuse me. Two forwards coming for 250 quid combined, whatever it was. And he won't play them together. What's all that about? I don't know. Arne Slot was asked that, wasn't he? He was like, why have they not played together? And he said something about, we all know why. Like, no one knows why, mate. Nobody knows why. Tell us. You know what I mean? Make Sobbers like the captain. I mean, I'm not going to... Wow, another King Fred 9, member for 2 months. Thank you so much, mate, for renewing your membership. Do we really blame him if we lose to Inter? Yes. One game does not change anything, in my opinion. If we'd have beat Sunderland 25-0, I'd have still said the same thing. Sobbers like the captain, that's a really interesting one. That is a potential video in itself. Listen, I wouldn't do it. That is drastic. That implies Van Dijk's not good enough at all. And I don't think that's the case. I think he's been underperforming. Certainly to the level we know he can be. And Szoboszlai has been the exact opposite. He's been really overperforming, or... No, that's the wrong word, really. He's been performing to the level we all know he can do. Just, I am impressed. I'm almost shocked by just how good he is, though. With respect, like, I know how good he is, but this good? Really? You know the good games last season we saw Szoboszlai? That's like 50% of this. This is a different beast. This is a different animal, this guy. He's no joke. I get why them conversations are circulating. I don't think it's a priority. Captaincy, to be honest. Well, we've had another donation. This is fucking mental, mate. Thank you so much. JOWI. Is that a name? If so, how the hell do I say that? JOWI 3322 with a 20 knock. Is that Norwegian? Is it Krona? I've made that up. Thank you very much for that. Really generous. This support's crazy, mate. He said singing, not signing. Sorry. Singing. That was good singing. I can sing. Your content is helping us through with this dark time, mate. God, you're all helping me through this dark time. Let's just help each other. What the hell? I appreciate it. We've had a donation from Alfie Little Johns 9742. 79p, mate. Thank you very much for that. Decent subs yesterday, but overall bad. I agree with that. I thought the subs were okay. I was getting a bit of backlash for that. I thought at the time, let me know if you agree or disagree here. Forget Konate, what he did. It actually makes Konate's mistake even worse. Because Arne Slot, for me, set us up in a decent position there. We're 2-0 up at Ellen Road away. He brings off McAllister, an attacking player, for a more defensive player in McAllister. And then he brings off Bradley, who's already booked, for a more defensive right-back, you got to say, centre-back, in Gomez. They were two smart substitutions. He set us up well. He best equipped us to go and win that game and see out the game. They were smart substitutions. Konate goes and bashes someone 5 minutes later. Completely nullifying anything that Arne Slot just done. I think Arne Slot got it right in that instance there. However, we did leak 2 goals. We leaked 2 goals. Again. That keeps happening. That is not down to individual errors because they happen in every game. These players are not bad. They're not bad, they just won the league. We've just improved that team. There is something, in my opinion, deeper rooted in this team. The players aren't buying it. There is something going on here. They're not having it. We need to stop talking as a fan base about who should play left back. Should we play 4-3-3? I don't think it'll do out. That team we played against Sunderland, Barron, I think the full-back, left-back, I had the same 11. So what do I know? I think a lot of people did as well. And we still couldn't win a game. So that tells me it's not down to who plays, it's down to who's playing them. In my opinion. When are you going to start recording on your music channel? Yeah, very soon. I've just moved house, so things are kind of settling down, but you can see that wall there. I've got all the posters ready and canvases, so it shouldn't be long. Please do stay tuned, but we are getting it back up and going. Look at the support, it's absolutely crazy. LFC Foxy, if Chiesa stays in Jan, I'll be baffled. He deserves far, far better. I agree with that. It's like, surely you've got to go in January. For your own good. We'd all back him in doing so. Wouldn't we, really? I love supporting Chiesa and him being at the club, but at the same time, I'm thinking about the poor bloke here. And I think that actually overrides my emotion of, like, love for the club. I love Chiesa. I really love him. And he deserves miles more than he's getting from Arne Slot. He's getting nothing back. And Chiesa's giving him everything. He deserves better. And he deserves to go. I mean, I don't know if he'll go back to Italy. I'd assume so. Because he's done it in the league before, etc. Juventus, I don't know. I really don't know. Wow. What the hell's happening? Guys, this support's mental. Thank you so much. Sean Mac 2644. Would you 20 quid? £20. Thank you so much. That's all going back into that light was actually 30 quid, so technically that's played for a lot of that. YouTube take a cut though, I think. Pretty drastic as well, the bloody greedy sods. But yeah, thank you very much. Would you rather we keep Slot till the summer and get Alonso, or sack Slot now and get Glasner? Yeah, interesting. I don't think Glasner can keep the ball. His team, sorry. I don't think his team are particularly possession dominant. And I think we need someone to do that. I would look at Alonso, but then again, look at this Real Madrid project and how that's gone up in, not flames, but it's not gone very well, right? Or to the level people thought. Iriola, yeah, that's a good option. I think his team, his philosophy, his style of play would work with the players we've got right now. I mean, fucking hell, I don't care because I'll be all right, you know what I mean? With Iriola in charge. And you look at the connections with Hughes, etc., that could happen. However, you look at Thomas Frank going to Spurs from Brentford. Different managers in how they wanted to set up Frank and Iriola. but they were both performing well, probably above their weight at teams who weren't, they're certainly not European contenders. Maybe they were, Brighton and Brentford and Bournemouth. But you look at Frank and he's gone to Spurs playing with better players, you've got to say overall, more expectation. The resources are different and he's not getting the same tune out of them players. They're not doing particularly well, Spurs. They're doing okay, but a few Spurs fans are like Frank out. Don't think many Spurs fans would be too annoyed if he went or there were serious conversations there. So does that tells me that, is it transposable? Can a manager who's come from a less big team or, I guess big team, go to a big team and do as well? I don't know. And Frank, for me, tells me different. That scares me with Iriola. I thank you for the 20, by the way. I really appreciate that. We got a £2 from James Myers, 292 442 Rio at left mid. I'll come on to that in a second, actually. We'll talk about a potential team. I appreciate that. And we've got a new member, and it's Aidan O'Keefe, mate. Thank you for your support this stream. Hopefully you enjoy being a member. Don't particularly know what you get for being a member, but I appreciate the support nonetheless. Thank you so much. The support is mental. I was just saying then about... I've instantly forgot. Interim. Listen, if Slot goes in Jan, I doubt the club will replace with a proper manager, so to speak. I believe it will be an interim. And I actually think it'll be Gerrard. I strongly disagree with the Gerrard appointment. Interim or not, whatever. Maybe, we'll get the players up for it, maybe. But because of what? Because he was a club legend. That's it, really. Obviously, Rangers went well, but other than that, he's got no resume. No resume. And like, interim or not, surely you... It's not like... We're not talking like interim for 4 games here. We're talking like interim for the rest of the season, for like months. And it's also not like a League 2 team. This is a Premier League side, one of the biggest sides in the world. It's a big job, that. It's a massive step up from anything Gerrard's done. I think that's an obvious concern, but obviously the qualities are there in terms of him. The morale he'd surely bring, not to just the players, but the fans. I don't think we'd see anything like that in terms of the fan base getting behind a manager from the off. It's impossible to beat. Surely Gerrard managing Liverpool, what the hell? Yeah, I wouldn't go for it. If he was to get sacked, who would you bring in as interim? I don't know. Excuse me. Well, that is my main reason for not sacking him. I'm not honest flat out, as mad as it sounds. Excuse me, sorry. The main reason being, who else would you bring in? I think a lot of people are like, well, he's got to go. Get him out. He deserves to not be in the league. Like, people are going in on Arne Slot and not giving me a replacement. They're not giving me an idea, an alternative. That ain't on. You've got to give something, right? The day I say I'm Arne Slot out, I will say, right, I want this guy in. I think you should actually... It should be a requirement in football media, social media, to comment, you want the manager out, but you have to follow it with like, but I want this guy in. I think we should go for this guy. Don't just say I'm Arne Slot out and leave it. But yeah, there's no one obviously lined up there to replace him, in my opinion. We've had another donation from L Smithy 20, mate. Thank you so much for the donation. I love the logo, by the way. I love that. £5, mega. Whether Salah starts playing or not, do you think we should start? Do you think we should bring Semenyo in Jan? I mean, Semenyo's an interesting one. I think it was 70 mil, 65 mil, something like that, release clause or whatever it was, valuation. It'd be a great one to bring in. I mean, for Kirk's sake, firstly, we got a tune out of him last year. They played really well last year as a partnership, as a duo. I mean, I guess he can play off the right as well. Semenyo. I see him more as a left-sided player, Semenyo. I think of some of the goals he scored this year off the left. That one that ran right down the byline and then slotted it in through the keeper's legs. Yeah, he's about as good as anyone. Not being funny. If you said like money's not an option, right? Money's not an option. It doesn't have to be realistic. Elise's the ultimate goal here. But why the hell would he come to our side? It's like, what the hell? I mean, talk about a Christmas wish. Elise, you're joking, aren't you? You would come to us. That is the ultimate goal. If money was no objective, it was unrealistic. But Semenyo's probably your next one. I think Bournemouth haven't been... I mean, they've not been poor recently, but those performances from the first, 6-7 weeks haven't been replicated, you've got to say, in the last few. From what I've seen anyway. To be fair, I've not even watched Bournemouth in the last month. But yeah, he's an interesting one, and I think he is one of the obvious candidates to replace Salah or to come in instead of Gakpo. Guys, the support is mental. Thank you so much. Look at this. We've had a £1 from James Myers 292, mate. You're a man of very few words. That's your second donation at night. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Heitinger will be a great interim from LFC Foxy, one of the members. God knows. I don't know. I don't know. Know nothing about these guys, really. I just want someone in. You, as an interim, you're one of two things. You steady the ship, like you're a good gaffer. You know your way around a team and coaching. Or you are a name, a face. Someone who's recognised by the club and the fans and the players, of which Gerrard is in that camp. He's not so much the first camp. I mean, is he a bit of both? I don't think so. What do I know? I just think it is very much a sentimental one. And my big concern is this. If it all goes tits up, if Gerrard comes in and it doesn't do well, does that taint his legacy? Does that tarnish that? Inevitably it will do, by the way. It will. And people say, well, we won't forget how good Gerrard is. But look at Salah now. That's going that way for some people. So, do you risk doing that? Yeah, King Fred, bring him in as a player. Yeah, forget interim. Then just sign him. I really want to back Slot, but I don't know if he can turn it round. I'm with you there. I really want to get behind him. I really want it to work, but he's not showing me anything. Yeah, really big concern, mate. Listen, we've been live for 45 minutes. There are 400 people in here. I'm beyond grateful for the support. I would just love to thank all the people who have shown support today. Lectin becoming a member and for the donation. Noah's Noah with a donation there. David with a mega donation. The final man, Harry Elves? Elves? Don't they play in Spain? Elvis. Thank you for that. Aidan O'Keefe with the donation and the membership. Thank you very much. James Myers, King Fred with a donation. Joey, I don't know how to say that. Thank you very much. Alfie again. Sean, mate, thank you so much for that. And look at this. Like, we could just not stop here. L Smithy 20. The support's mega. Not just on that side of it, but the comments. I mean, the comment section has been a joy to read. I mean, it's a bit negative, I'll be honest with you, but the community, this is what I'd hoped it would be when I started this channel. I restarted this channel 4 or 5 months ago. I never thought I'd have 400 people in here on a Sunday night. There were 700 people in here last night. That's mental, mate. I owe it to you to give you more streams. So I want to give you a sort of schedule when I can go live. I'd ideally go live in the morning, like 10 or 11, lunchtime maybe, because I don't know nothing in the day really. But I realise it's not very accessible for people. We'll see. I'll let you know in due course. And, if it kicks off tomorrow, if, God forbid, the manager goes, I don't think he will, or if Arne Slot addresses the Salah thing in the press conference, I will be live tomorrow evening. So please do set your notifications. Do come by tomorrow night and see what's been said. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, that press conference with Slot. He will address it at some point. Interesting. Thank you so much. If you are at this point, please do go down there and smash that like button. The big thumbs up there. It's entirely free to do. Please do press it. We're 50 minutes into this stream now, and there's still 400 people in here. Very lucky. Very lucky. Thank you for all the comments. I'll see you next one. Ta-ra.